First question says, construct the perpendicular bisector of the line joining the points A and B. So I'm going to show you how to draw the perpendicular bisector. This is the line joining A and B, supposedly. So this is A and this is B. So what you will do is, once you've connected your points A and B, you will measure what the distance of A and B is. In our case, the distance of A and B, because I'm just assuming where points A and B will be. So this line is 5 centimeters. So what you will do next is that you will open your compass to more than half the distance of the line AB. So since half of the distance of line AB is 2.5, so we open the compass to 3 centimeters. So that's going to be over here. So once you've opened the compass to 3 centimeters, what you will do is you will bring your compass and place it at point A. And what you will do is you will draw an arc above and below the line. This is how you will draw an arc above and below the line. Then you will repeat the same steps from point B, maintaining the same distance for the compass. And you will draw an arc above and below the line like this. So now that we've drawn our arcs, what you will do next is that you will take your ruler and you will bring it over here in the center of this intersection. And what you will do is you will draw a straight line that passes right through the intersection of these arcs. So if you check the distance from A to this intersection point over here, you will notice that this is exactly 2.5, which shows that this is the perpendicular bisector of the line AB, because it's running right through the center. And over here, all of the points which are equidistant from A and B lie on this line. So this is how you draw the perpendicular bisector between 2 points or like for a line. Next question says, work out 1 whole number 405 divided by 2 whole number 304. So for this, what we will first do is convert the mixed numbers into improper fraction. And to do that, what you will do is you will multiply the denominator with the whole number and then add the result with the numerator. Hence, for the first case, we do 5 times 1, which is 5, and then 5 times 4, which is 9. So it's going to be 9 over 5 divided by 2 times 4, which is 8, and 8 plus 3, which is 11. So 11 over 4. So now that we've converted the mixed numbers into improper fractions, what we will do is we will flip the second fraction, which means we will swap the numerator with the denominator, and we will change division into multiplication. This step is also called reciprocal. So we do 9 over 5 times 4 over 11. As you can see, I swapped the numerator with the denominator and changed the division into multiplication. Nothing happens to the first fraction. Always remember what we change is the second fraction. So once we've done that, we multiply the numerator with the numerator and the denominator with the denominator, which gives us 36 over 55. That is your answer. Next question says the container exerts a force of 4,000 newtons on the floor. The pressure on the floor is 500 newtons per meter square. Calculate the area of the container that is in contact with the floor. So pressure basically has the formula of force over area. Pressure is given as 500 newtons per meter square and force is 4,000 divided by the area. So that means area is going to be the division between 4,000 and 500, which basically is going to be 8 meters squared. That is your answer. Next question says factorize x squared plus 8x plus 16. So as you can see, we have a quadratic equation. And when we are factorizing quadratic equations, we can either use the quadratic formula or use the factorization method. I'm going to use the factorization method over here. So we begin with multiplying the coefficient of x squared with the constant. So that's 1 times 16, and that equals to 16. Next step is to find factors of 16. So that's going to be 2 times 8 and 4 times 4. And 16 times 1 is already given. So once we have listed out all of the factors, we pick that set of factors which when added or subtracted gives us the middle term, which is always the term with the x, not with x squared, the one with x. So over here, the middle term is 8. Now, as you can see, if we add 4 and 4, that gives us 8. Hence, we will select 4 times 4. Now, once we've selected our factor, what we do is we replace the middle term with that sort of factor, which means positive 8x now becomes plus 4x plus 4x, and everything else remains as it is. So x squared plus 8x plus 16 is rewritten as x squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 16. Once we have done that, what we do is we split the equation into two groups. First two terms make one group, and the last two terms make another group. So now we're going to factor these groups separately. So between x squared and 4x, we can see that x is common. So we'll have x plus 4 in the bracket. And between 4x and 16, we have positive 4 common. And we'll be left with x plus 4 again in the bracket. As you can see, we have x plus 4 common between both x and positive 4. So we do x plus 4 times x plus 4. It can be rewritten as x plus 4 squared. That is your fully factorized answer for this quadratic equation. Then the next one, it's asking us to factorize x squared minus 121. Now this is also a quadratic equation. Why? Because the highest power of the variable is 2. Whenever the highest power is 2 for a variable in like an equation, that's a quadratic equation. So, but this one is different from the one that we already solved because this doesn't have like a middle term. It's just two terms, x squared and like constant being subtracted from it. In such cases, we use difference of perfect squares. So difference of perfect squares is basically difference of perfect square basically means subtracting two perfect squares. As you can see, x squared is a square term and 121 is 11 squared. So we're subtracting two perfect squares. So whenever we subtracted two perfect squares, the formula we use is a squared minus b squared, which equals to a plus b times a minus b. So over here, we're doing x squared minus 11 squared, and so it's going to be x minus 11 and x plus 11. That is your fully factorized answer for this quadratic equation.